Despite the fact that we've spent the last 30 years trying to perfect that clean, clear digital sound, there is still nothing quite like the sound of a scratchy vinyl record to add some color and flavor to your tracks. So in this video, we're going to take a look at how we can add a scratchy vinyl sound to our tracks here in GarageBand iOS. Let's go. Hey, Pete here for Studio Live today, where I help you create, record and release your best music. And in this video, I'm going to show you a very cool trick using the Alchemy Synth here in GarageBand iOS. And this is the trick that was shown to me by one of my viewers right here on the channel, Ponk80. So thank you for this tip. I'm sure others will enjoy seeing it as much as I did. So let's jump down into GarageBand now and take a look.
Okay, here we are back in GarageBand here on my iPhone now to demo this very cool effect. I'm going to use it in a real world kind of situation. I've got a loop here with some drums, some bass, some guitar and some organ ready to go. So at the moment, the loop starts off sounding like this. And as we progress, we bring in some organ and some guitar down here. And what I actually want, so here's my intro part, these first 8 bars, and then at that 9th bar, I want it to really sort of kick in. So I'm going to use this cool old school vinyl effect here on these first 8 bars. So let's go ahead and show you how we create that now. We're going to go add, and we're going to add a keyboard sound like so. We're going to tap on the Alchemy Synth, and then here in the Alchemy Synth, we're going to select the instrument by tapping on the arrow on the top left there. We're going to tap on Epic Cloud Formation, and let's change this one up. We'll come down to Synth over here on the left, and then we're going to scroll down and we're going to select our Dusty Record Synth. So by itself, it sounds a little bit like this. So you can hear the synth sound with that crackly record vinyl sound in the background. So it sounds pretty cool on its own, but we don't actually want the synth. We just want to extract that crackly vinyl. To do that, we tap on our little icon up the top here, which is our dial, our mixer, not our mixer, our little effects knob here where we can go into all of our settings. And what we want to do, let's get rid of all the delay and reverb from this sound. We'll then tap right arrow to go across. We're now going to dial all of these down. So I'm just holding these and pulling down to get rid of any of this. And this is removing all of the actual sound from this, apart from when we get to this last one, we have the vinyl effects and the crossfade here, which is what we're going to actually be using. So we'll drop the attack down. We'll completely do that. Now, what I'm going to do is put these right up into the top corner here. As I mentioned, Ponk80, who showed me this, showed that this is the best sort of original setting. And now if we hit on this C4, we're going to get a sound like this. So a cool sort of vinyl sound, and depending how hard we hit it, we get a slightly different sound. So the first time I hit it a bit harder and that was a bit softer. We can also drop it down over here and then we get more of the rotation of the turntable sound. Let's listen to this now. So again, a different sort of sound, but pretty cool as well. And down here, we get yet another sort of sound. So that sound has sort of more of the pops and the clicks and things, but I kind of like this sound up here. It's a little bit subtle. And it's just got that nice old school vinyl crackle sound in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back to our track here, and all I'm going to do is hold down on that for these first 8 bars. So I'm going to tap on record and then hold down on that note for the first 8 bars so that we can record this synth sound of this crackling. Okay, so there we go. We have our 8 bars ready to go. So that what we'll do is we'll drag this one. We'll just tap and hold and drag this up to the top there. And there is our dusty record synth with just the dusty record sound minus any of the synth. Now, there's another thing that I want to do here to make this sort of really lo-fi. I'm going to show you another cool little trick here to do this. The first thing that I'm going to want to do here is I'm going to dial these two back so that they're just for the first 8 bars. Now I'm going to duplicate these 2 tracks. Now I've showed you how to copy and paste before, but I'll show it again here. I'm going to tap, then I'm going to tap and hold and tap on this one, and then I'm going to tap again with both of them selected, and now I can copy. And now if I tap in a vacant space, I come right to the bottom of the track, and down here in the vacant space, I'm going to tap, tap again, and select paste. And what it's done now is it's replicated those 2 tracks, my drums and my bass, and it's popped them down here. Now, if you wanted to copy this, something I should have told you at the start, and do this yourself, what I'm using here is the Apple loops. I've got the Bar Band Basic Drum Set 01, and I've got the Nitro Power Bass Guitar. So if you want to replicate this exact loop, you can use those. And down here, I'm using the clean organ as part of the Alchemy Synth, and I've got the Hot Pursuit Guitar 01 as the loop. So you don't have to use all of those, but they're what I've used for this example. You can use whatever you like. So now that I have these 2, what I'm going to do is drag these across so that they are going to be in the second half here instead. So I'm just tapping and dragging across. And if you want to learn more about editing and doing all of these maneuvers I'm doing here, I've got a 3-part editing quick jam series, which will show you all about editing, MIDI notes and audio recorder notes and all quantizing and transposing and all of that fun stuff. You can check those out in the links. Anyway, what I wanted to do here is to add to this lo-fi beat is I want to actually do some EQ on these 2 tracks. So to do that, we've selected our drums here. I'm going to tap on the mixer icon there. I'm going to tap plugins and EQ and tap on visual EQ. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull all the way down from around about sort of 300 hertz there on the bass and remove all of the bass. I'm going to then come in and do the exact same thing on the bass guitar. I'm going to roll that all down. Now let's have a listen to what these 2 sound like now that I've removed that bass. So you can hear that they've gone very AM radio. They're very treble heavy now. And if I just show you the difference, if we turn on and off this, so let's just turn off these EQ. Very nice and bassy. If we turn the back on. And this is a technique that's used in a lot of songs, a lot of sort of rock songs. There's a Green Day song that does it. There's a lot of other songs that do this sort of lo-fi AM radio style sound. And then when it kicks in, it just sounds awesome because you've got no bass at all in the start here. And then as soon as you kick in here, all the bass comes in. So let's now add back in. We'll make our record scratchy vinyl sound a little bit louder. We've got our drums, we've got our bass, and then we've got our drum and bass coming in here. Now, we haven't done the EQing to these ones because we want them to come in and be nice and bassy. So what I'll do now is I will play us out with this entire loop. I hope you found this interesting and can use this in a project, and hopefully you're already thinking of all the cool ways that you can employ this synth, this technique into some of those cool tracks that you're producing at the moment. So here it is. Here's my 16-bar loop using this very cool record vinyl sound.
And that is going to do it for this video. What a cool trick, and what a really cool way to add some of that lo-fi sound to your tracks here in GarageBand iOS. If you've got comments, questions or suggestions, you can leave those down below and I'll see you on the next episode. Video? Hey, thanks again for watching. If you would like to watch some more videos, we've got 2 episodes down below. You can also subscribe by clicking up in the top right corner, or you can head on over to studiolivetoday.com for more audio goodness.